Bubuksan na sa susunod na buwan ng registration para sa prestiyosong Caramoan 10 Km Swim Challenge na gaganapin sa Hulyo. To tell us more about the event, kasama natin ang organizer at swimmer na si Betsy Medalla, ang triathlete and triathlon coach si Julian Valencia, at ang triathlete and editorial consultant of Endurance Magazine na si Lara Parpan. Good evening and thanks for joining us in The Score.
Thanks for inviting
Well,
us.
Betsy, tell us all about this event that they blame you for creating.
Well, it started last year.
Okay.
And last year it was called the Caramoan 10K Swim Challenge.
7K, okay.
And it's a 7K non-stop, well, it's multi-island. So our hydration stands are at different beaches.
Okay.
And the swimmers swim across 5 different islands.
5 different stops, okay.
5 different islands and finish to do the 7K.
Okay.
This year we decided to step it up.
10K. But what made you think of doing something like this to begin with, of making it a swim marathon, or probably some would call it like an endurance swim, because they swim, triathletes swim roughly mga 3 kilometers if it's triathlon, no?
Yeah.
Pero why push the limits in the water?
Right. Well, Julia and I did a swim in South Africa 2
Okay.
years ago.
All right.
And when we were there, we saw the open water swimming community. Every week, a group of people comes together and they just swim for the fun of it.
Okay.
And I thought that this sport has so much promise here.
Okay.
It's free. Swimming in open water is
Right,
free.
right.
You can swim to your heart's desire. We have beautiful places for open water swimming. And so I set up this race and decided to up the 7 into a 10 because the Olympic standard and the World Championships are 5 and 10K.
There you go. Well, Julian, talk to us about the transition of how a swimmer or a triathlete thinks of something crazy. Like, I'll swim longer. Because I know some triathletes actually swimming is the event they don't like the most.
Right.
They like the least because they like to run and they like to bike, kaya nila. But swimming, hirap sila. So how does a triathlete transition to doing something like this?
Well, sa akin, in terms sa akin, it's not actually difficult because Betsy and I, we were teammates during college varsity and swimming in UP. So it wasn't really a hard transition for me. But I have several students who who also did the swim.
Okay.
And for them talagang it's just the training and the mental na you have to give them confidence that they can do it. But it takes a little bit of time. And most of the people that kind of stop them from doing this is just really the fear of open water.
Yun.
But once you overcome that, once you're in the water, about let's say 5 minutes, kind of everything just clicks
That's
in.
quick, huh?
Yeah.
Lara, now you have an interesting background of 1, you're a swimmer, and 2, you're part of the Endurance Magazine. So you know the culture of these people who really push themselves to the limit. What's it like? What's their psyche like to push them to another limit? I mean, they're doing triathlons already, and they just want to beat their best times. And what is it like for them to say, I want to do something different in terms of the swim?
Yes. Usually what comes to mind is when you cross the finish line, whether
Okay.
it's in a triathlon or the finish line of an endurance swim, like when I crossed the finish line of the 7K swim, all I could think of was, wow, I did it.
Okay.
What's the next challenge? I think it's
Bitin
just the
ka ba?
desire. It's just a desire.
Okay.
You're tired. Pagod ka
Yeah,
talaga.
yeah,
Pero
but
ang
mentally-
feeling mo, wow, nagawa ko ito.
Aha.
Kung kaya ko naman ito,
Yeah.
di siguro mas kaya ko yung mas mahabang distance.
Okay.
Of course, kailangan mag-training.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you always have it to come into the mindset that this is not something that you just wake up
Right.
one morning and say, sige, magsiswimming ako
Correct.
ng 10K.
Now, Betsy, Lara mentioned the training aspect. Not everybody does this.
Right.
So yun na nga. So when you put it up last year, how confident were you that you'd have enough people who are fit enough or daring enough and can train for something like this?
This is the amazing part was I was aiming for 50 people to
Okay.
join. I expected 50 people to join. 7K is a daunting distance. And in 4 hours, I sold out 90 slots.
Wow. You
I
almost
sold
doubled
out
it in 4
90
hours.
slots.
Okay.
And we ended up with 150 people swimming. And every week, I would send updates to everyone. Have you done this? Or you should be at this level. You should have swum this much.
okay.
I made sure everyone was ready.
Okay,
to
that's
swim.
cool. You care.
I do.
I mean, I'm not saying the others don't care, but you go the extra mile and make sure that they're okay and they're
Yeah.
fit and they're
You
training
want them
for
to
it.
have a good race
Absolutely.
experience.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, I wanted to ask that. That experience of swimming from these beautiful islands, one after another. if you look it up, Caramoan is part of the Survivor Series.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
something out there. What was it like when you're swimming and it's not just a boring swim, but you're actually enjoying where you are?
Actually, sa akin, you kind of zone out a little bit because sometimes you get deep, sometimes you get shallow. So you can actually do a little bit of parang snorkeling without the snorkel.
Okay.
So you distract yourself looking at the different islands, and then once you get to the island, the way the race kasi was made, you could actually stay a little bit on the island and enjoy the scenery. So you just don't race, you just don't step there and then go out. You could actually drink, and then if you have they take picture of you and then you just go. So it's actually fun. It's a really
island
fun
hopping
race.
ito without the bangka.
Without the
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
That's a different type of island hopping.
But Lara, what did you see and what did you observe from the competitiveness? I mean, aside from those who wanted to enjoy and you stay a while on the island, but how competitive were people last year?
The batch of swimmers last year was a good mix of those who were really competitive, like Jessie Lacuna, who finished it in an hour and a half, and people like myself who were there just to train and to enjoy the sights. And it took me 3 hours and 35 minutes to finish the 7K.
How long were the breaks?
And well, that was a different. May buko stand it. There were
how
like
can you
they had
resist?
3 gels and buko juice and everything.
Cool.
So it was actually fun, and what also added to the enjoyment of the race was knowing that there were marshals and the logistics. It was very well organized, and so you knew that at any point in time when you needed help, pwede kang tumawag ng tulong.
So Betsy, how have you learned from the success of last year to step it up a notch? Aside from the distance, what else are you improving in terms of the experience for the swimmers out there?
Well, one program that I added, it's called ABCs for Caramoan.
Okay.
And it's a book and crayon. So every time someone registers, there's a set of coloring or activity book, and it's the theme
Literally
is
crayons.
Yes, in crayons.
Cool. Okay.
The theme is marine conservation.
Nice.
Because the idea is it's possible that somewhere there, when we give these crayons and coloring books, is a future dynamite fisherman, which is an unfortunate fact.
Right,
and maybe it'll help to stop all of that.
All right. Well, I'll give you this opportunity to invite them out there. How do they find out more information? Where do they log on? And when are you opening? You said 4 hours last year, so they might be nakabang in their mouse pads. Click. So how is it going to go for them?
So all information will be updated regularly on our Facebook event page, which is the 10K Caramoan Swim Challenge page.
All right.
Registration will open in February, and I'm
In
very
February
careful
pa.
about the
Okay.
announcements.
Not now.
Because but if I may, I'd really like to thank some of the people who helped us.
Go ahead, sure.
Especially the local government of Camarines Sur and Governor Migs Villafuerte. They were amazing. They made sure everyone was safe. They really helped us out and supported open water swimming. And some of brave sponsors who trusted us when we were
first-time event.
for a first-time event like Century Tuna and Black Tank Creative. So I'm just really grateful for all of their help.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to the race coming. When is it, by the way? So registration opens February.
Yes.
The race is on.
The race is July 10th.
July 10th. So they have that much time to prepare. So
Yes.
And to have fun as well.
Right.
While preparing. So Julia and Betsy, Lara, thanks for joining us and all the best in your race. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.